All those words in a contract looks good until it's time for them to come alive. The ownership attorney has entered the chat. In 2003, T.I. entered into an exclusive recording agreement with Atlantic Records. In 2017, Sync Music acquired Atlantic's entire catalog, including T.I.'s 7 albums. When Sync took over, they acquired Atlantic's contract rights and obligations to T.I. They confirmed that the Atlantic agreement would remain in full force and effect, except where they decided to amend some terms. The buyback option was one of those amendments. It provides a specific formula that allowed T.I. to reclaim his masters during the option period. According to the lawsuit, Sync breached the contract by altering that formula, minimizing T.I.'s royalty deductions, and delaying their response after T.I. exercised his option timely. Here are 3 lessons to be learned from this dispute that actually matter legally. Lesson number 1, according to the claim, when Sync purchased Atlantic's catalog, by their choice, they bound themselves to the agreement they had with T.I., except for the amendments that they made in the Sync agreement. Everything else was to remain in full force and effect from the Atlantic agreement. The purchase option they added as an amendment provided a clear formula to calculate the price to buy back, which was 12 times the net profits made between May 2023 through April 2024. T.I. had to exercise that option between May 1st, 2024 and April 30th, 2026. If you're acquiring any asset, whether it is a catalog, a business, intellectual property, you need to know exactly what is already attached to it, because if you agree to those rights and obligations and don't understand the details of it, you can't unilaterally change that agreement. Which brings me to where this issue appears to be. Lesson number 2, define terms in a contract. According to the claim, when Sync stated that net profits means the gross receipts minus royalty participation to the artist, they did not amend the definition of gross receipts from the Atlantic agreement. Gross receipts are defined in that agreement as royalties and flat fee payments earned in the U.S., attributable to the exploitation of the recordings and videos. This did not include any streaming fees, any streaming licensing. Since that definition wasn't amended, the Atlantic definition stood in full force in effect. Consequently, digital streaming licensing fees and revenues made outside of the U.S. was barred from Sync's calculation, but they included it anyway when T.I. requested his price. The terms are not the only important things in a contract. How those terms are defined are important too. So lastly, lesson number 3, having a contract and breaching it. According to the claim, the contract was just breached not by altering the formula to fit what Sync wanted gross receipts to mean. It was also breached because of their untimely response to T.I.'s contractual right. Not liking what you sign after you sign it, no matter what side of the table you're on, does not make the contract unenforceable or means that you can just do whatever you want. Every obligation in the contract must be performed on time and in the manner as agreed. You have to read and understand the contract, especially if you are the one responsible for drafting it. This is why I'm the ownership attorney.